Jay Bala is here. Jay, how does the charts of these stocks look? IGL, MGL, Gujarat Gas, all of them have run up some good 30% in the last 1 month.
Gas stocks are one of the strongest in the pockets, and all three are looking good. If I were to, order them in the order of strength, I would say Mahanagar Gas, Indraprastha Gas, and then Gujarat Gas. So they still have some more room left, and the technical structure is such that each of them are likely to make one pullback and then go to further fresh 52-week highs. So the strength is still there, and all three frontline gas names looking quite strong.
Jay, in this kind of a market, especially when broader markets have started to perform, what are your thoughts on the mid-cap end of the basket? So some of the stocks which look good to you on that front?
Yeah, good question, Ajay. The consensus in the market is actually the mid caps and small caps are going to have a fantastic year, whether or not the large caps are going to have. But it's not such an easy pick for the players out here. You got to be very focused, and for example, the housing and construction related space is looking quite good. But if you pick something like the Ramco Cement, you're going to have losses in your portfolio. So you should be very careful about what you choose. The cement sector is quite strong, but that doesn't mean you buy the whole basket. So be very choosy about what you pick. And even though a sector looks good, it's not one cap that fits all. So be very selective about your choice. So for me, what looks good on the mid-cap space is the cement stocks, the chemical stocks, and one or two stocks in the gas space, and one or two and a few stocks relating to the crude play. But even as I said earlier, if you're going to play the crude play, don't pick all the paint stocks. Asian Paints has moved up a lot. Wait for a pullback. But whereas if you look at something like BPCL, which is just done a correction and is trying to move up, that kind of selection is what you should do when it comes to stock picking.
Yesterday, oil marketing companies also shot up because crude oil is falling very sharply. Bajaj Finance is a stock, it has done phenomenally well, but especially after the big QIP, it has started to see some of the headwinds. Probably a lot of increment supply already got met after the big 8,500 crore QIP recently. I'll get your opinion on the charts of Bajaj Finance, but let me go to my colleague Soumya, who's here to talk about what to expect from the numbers of Bajaj Finance today. Soumya?
Well, talking about Bajaj Finance, we expect it to be strong earnings for it. But having said that, the growth is expected to moderate slightly. In fact, 18-hour poll sees the net interest income growth of around 23% to nearly 3,950 crore rupees. Profit is also expected to bump up by 42% on a YOY basis. And in fact, we expect the loan growth to be somewhere around 32% to 35% on a YOY basis, basically led by rural and consumer business. Well, this is actually in tandem with the AUM growth updated by company in its operational update as far as the Q3 is concerned. The AUM growth was around 35% on a YOY basis, and then taking into account, we expect the loan growth to be at similar levels. In fact, net interest margins are expected to increase by over 15 to 20 basis points, given it's a seasonally strong quarter for Bajaj Finance, and asset quality trends are broadly expected to remain stable. But having said that, there might be some amount of stress in the loans against securities. We'll be keenly watching out as far as the outlook on growth, NPA and margins are concerned, given the last quarter the company had updated that they were witnessing some amount of slowdown. So let's see how this quarter pans out and how the future quarters would pan out. And in fact, what another thing that's key for Bajaj Finance is the treatment of exposure to its CARV. Well, let's see how the results are, but we're expecting a strong quarter, but slight amount of moderation as far as the growth is concerned.
Thanks very much for that, Soumya. That was Soumya talk about Bajaj Finance. Commentary, of course, is very closely being watched in the market because it is a sector leader. What they say about the headwinds or tailwinds of the sector gets impacted. Other companies also get impacted. But on the charts, what are your thoughts on Bajaj Finance in the large cap space, Jay?
Both Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv are nearing an end of a large move that started from 2016. So I would be very careful. I think they still have one last high pending, or they probably clocked fresh. They're done with their move. So I would expect some kind of reversal to come through very shortly in both the twins. So I would say start booking profits at current levels. Hold on to partial profits if you are a portfolio holder. So I think they are nearing a very mature stage of their cycle that started from 2016.
Indigo is one stock which has done on fundamentals pretty good because of the demise of players in the space. And in fact, it appears that the feud between the two warring promoters is also some kind of an understanding has been struck now, and a strategic player may actually come in. Let me, I will talk to you about Indigo and SpiceJet as well, Jay, but let me get my colleague Parisha to talk about the EGM which is happening today and what exactly is going on over there, because that is also being closely watched by the market. Parisha, fill us in.
The Interglobe Extraordinary General Meeting in Delhi today was all fireworks as the shareholders expressed their concerns about amendment to Article of Association, and some of them even broke into heated fights, heated arguments over a resolution to amend the Article of Association. Remember, one of the co-promoters of Indigo, Mr. Rakesh Gangwal, had asked for amendment to Article of Association, which further triggered speculations that Gangwal wants to exit the company, wants to sell his 36% stake in the company. Some of the shareholders even asked questions like what happens to their rights if Gangwal exits, and some even went on to allege that the board wants him to be out. The board wants to throw Gangwal out. The board, however, assured the shareholders that their shareholding rights will not be affected even if the resolution to amend the Article of Association is passed, and they said that the resolution will be passed only if 75% of voting shareholders.
Right. Jay, what are your thoughts on Indigo at around 1,500 rupees a piece?
SpiceJet seem to be in a sustained short-term downtrend. I would think even SpiceJet has probably topped out for the medium term, but Indigo is a bit here and there. So there's a possibility that it has topped out at 1900, but my confidence is not that high. But I would see what it does around 1650 levels. If it does see resistance around those levels and turn down, I would think it's not going to get much benefit from lower crude prices. I'm very bearish on crude. I'm expecting it to drop below 50. So probably that might provide some kind of tailwind here. But 1650 is a pretty important level for me. If it does cross that, probably it'll go back to retest 1900.
Right. All right, Jay, we'll let you go on that one. Thanks very much for your time joining us on the show today. But